Hello, Moonbeams. Hello, and welcome back to my channel, Mystic Moon School. I am Donna, and I am your astrologer, and we are here to discuss the moon and how she moves through the signs of the zodiac each and every week, and what that means for you, how it's going to show up in your life. And so while I am going through the signs that the moon is moving through this week, and also the aspects that she is making to both the personal planets and the outer planets, this can affect you differently based on your own natal chart, right? And so if you have your chart, you want to get it out, grab a cup of tea or something delicious to drink. Sit down with your journal and take out your chart, and we're going to go through the signs that Mama Moon is moving through this week, and you can track that in your own chart to see what areas of life this is highlighting for you, right? Those are the houses that the moon will be moving through in your chart. If you don't know how to do this and you would like to learn, please pop on over to my website, which is www.empoweredmy.com, and book a reading with me. And my readings are very empowering. They're very validating, but I also teach you a little bit how to learn really how to read your own chart so that you can really grow, right, in your self-awareness and working with these energies in a conscious way every week. Okay, so that being said, we are going to jump into this podcast. This is the week of May 20th to the 26th. And we have the Sagittarius full moon. Let's see, is that on Thursday? I believe that is on Thursday, and Thursday is a big day. Okay, we will get to that. But it is a big day, not just with the moon and the full moon, but we have some other big things going on that day. But we will get to that, right? We will get to that. So today, Monday, May 20th, we also have a big shift happening. And that is that the sun has moved into Gemini today. So happy birthday or happy solar return to all my beautiful Geminis out there. So what is the solar return? It is when the sun returns to the exact point in the sky as when you were born on your birthday. And so when we do a solar return reading, we are looking at your chart for the year ahead, beginning on your birthday this year. And so while the sun will be the same as it was in your birth chart, your natal chart, all the other planets, points will be different. So this is a whole new layer of energies and meaning and guidance for you in the year ahead. If you're interested in that as a gift for yourself or a Gemini that you know, pop on over to my website for that as well, and you can book a solar return reading with me, and we can look at the predominant energies for you for the year ahead. Okay, so sun is in Gemini. Even if you are not a Gemini, you may feel this shift today, and because we have, when the sun moves into a new sign, that begins a new season, and we feel that shift, right? Because the sun is our self. The sun is our sense of self, our personality, our sense of self, self-esteem, self-confidence, all the self-words. And so when the sun changes signs, it's a shift. It's a shift in season, and we feel that. I also wanted to mention that, Mercury is completely moving direct now. It has cleared its last shadow phase last week. And so now that we are entering Gemini season and Mercury is moving direct, right? Because Gemini rules Mercury. They share so much of the same energies of the mind, right? Thinking, communication of all kinds. And so you may really be getting some clarity now on the last month or even 4 or 5 weeks. Maybe you were feeling foggy. You knew that there was something like on the tip of your brain, and you just couldn't grasp it. Like you couldn't see the full picture. Now, maybe even in this past week, last week, you may have been really gaining more clarity. Now that the sun is in Gemini, I say clarity is going to be turned up to 11. Okay, it's really, everything is clear now. You're thinking clearly. You're seeing the next steps. And so it's time to go, right? Gemini wants to go, go, go. Do the things, communicate, talk, send the emails, send the texts, like write it all out. And so we're really feeling this shift. And actually today on Monday, Mama Moon, while the sun is in Gemini, the moon is in Libra. So this is a whole lot of air energy. Air energy is the mind. It is how we think, how we process mentally. It is how we communicate. It is how we write. It is how we speak. And so we have a lot of air energy today. So today would be a terrific day to write out the things that have been on your mind. Whatever that is. If you have beautiful ideas, that's Gemini too, right? If you have some beautiful ideas, get it out of your head, write it down, put it on paper. And that's going to help move things forward. Now, with the moon in Libra today, we are also feeling a little tender, okay? We may be feeling some fears come up, and we may be feeling old hurts coming to the surface. And that is because the moon is squaring Pluto today, and Pluto can bring up our fears, right? Pluto can, we can feel disempowered when the moon is making a hard aspect to Pluto. We could drop into that victim energy. I'm not going to lie, I was feeling that this morning. But because I know the energies, I'm not going to drop fully down into that. I'm going to instead ask myself, why? Why is this coming up for me right now, right? Why are these fears coming up? Let's unpack the fears for a few minutes, really take a look at them and ask, how true is this? Like, is this even going to come to pass, or is this just the fear kind of playing on my mind? And, one of the sayings I really love, it's helped me a lot on my journey, is that fear is a liar. And the acronym for fear is false evidence appearing real. False, F, evidence, E, appearing, A, real, R. And that really resonates for me. And the more you work with your fears, you will see that 9.9 times out of 10, the fears are just that. It's like smoke in the mirrors, right? It's not even real. It's not. It appears real. It feels real, but they're really not. They are just projections of worst case scenarios. And so when you sit with that and you ask that question, how real is my fear? Most of the time you're like, not so much. And so all of a sudden you start to feel better. You're like, yeah, wait, this is not going to have power over me. I'm going to be in my power. And I am not going to give in to those fearful thoughts and that feeling that I'm having in my body right now. That is not healthy for me. Instead, I'm going to focus on what I do have control over, and that is my mindset, always. So the other point that I want to make before I move on with this is that the moon is also opposite Chiron, and it is exactly opposite Mars today. Now, Mars is ruled by Pluto. And so, it's a lot of that, that fearful energy may be coming up for you, but with Mars being exactly opposite the moon today, tap into that energy. Tap into the energy of Mars that wants to take action, to make something happen. Mars has a protective energy also in the higher expressions, right? Mars can be assertive and confident. And so Mars is the warrior energy. And so, if you turn that towards your fears and you say, no, I'm going to battle these fears, they're not going to overtake me, then you shift into feelings of empowerment. And you're like, yeah, I've got this. I know who I am. I know that fears do not have to have power over me, and that I, Gemini, right? Gemini, Sun in Gemini, I can think those empowering thoughts instead of those disempowering ones. Okay, so let's choose that with the moon in Libra, which is all of that mind energy as well. The other thing, obviously, about Libra is that balance, that energy of balance and fairness. And so maybe part of what that Pluto, those fears are kicking up are where things have not felt fair to you, that there's been some injustice, imbalance. And so instead of dropping down into victim consciousness around that, tap into that Mars energy that's right across the sky from the moon and say, well, how can I assert myself and feel into how I can balance this situation out, right? How I can bring balance back to whatever it is that's coming up for you today. So if it's in a relationship, which, often Libra plays out in relationships, but it could be, a situation, it could be something at work, it could be simply within you, right? And in your own mind, because we have so much of this mind energy today. So if you find yourself feeling imbalanced around, you always go to that fear place in your mind. Let's bring those scales of balance back to evenness, right? Where the weight is not put on the fear. The weight is put on you being able to choose your thoughts and to choose more empowering thoughts. Okay. I think that's all I want to say about Monday. You're going to be feeling this tomorrow too, a little bit, but the moon moves so quickly, right? And so, even if the fears are really kicking up for you, please just know you're moving through something, right? You're leveling up here, because every time we consciously work with those lower energies, we're healing something, really, truly. We're consciously choosing not to repeat patterns, whether that's in our own mind or playing out in dynamics in situations and with other people. And so tomorrow, Tuesday, let's see, I'm going to move the slide here. Well, we're not at the Sag moon yet, but we're building towards it. But on Tuesday, the moon moves into Scorpio, okay? And the moon is also now opposing Mercury. So I feel that with the moon in Scorpio, Scorpio likes to go deep. Scorpio is not like, let's talk about the weather and, oh, I love those earrings and, what did you have for dinner last night? That is not Scorpio energy, right? Scorpio is like, okay, so let's talk about our deepest fears, right? Let's have those deep conversations. You know, those Scorpio people in your life, right? Where you meet up with them and like you dive deep immediately. That is that Scorpio energy when the moon moves into Scorpio. And tomorrow she will be opposing Mercury, the planet of communication, right? I'm wondering if some truth is going to come out. Okay, because with the moon in Scorpio going deep, which by the way, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, Mars and Pluto, but Pluto is the modern ruling planet of Scorpio. Scorpio will go deep, will look at the fears, will unearth the stuff that's been hidden. All of those Pluto energies come through Scorpio. And so when this energy is opposing Mercury, right, which is our thoughts, our communications, how we think, how we process things mentally, we may have some deep realizations on Tuesday. We may have those aha moments. And as I was saying earlier, more clarity, but on a deeper level about things, maybe things from the past, maybe things are being kind of unearthed from your subconscious. Truths coming out. I feel that this is a rebirth energy, because whenever we're dealing with Scorpio, right? Scorpio will let things die because it's ready to rebirth something new. And so you may want to ask yourself on Tuesday, well, what's dying? Like what is being buried and what is being unearthed, right? Like that little tiny leaf that is beginning to emerge up out of the soil, those tendrils rising up, something's being rebirthed as well. And this could very much be of the mind energy. So see how that resonates for you. See what area of life that is happening in your chart. It would be a fantastic day to meditate. I like to pick out those days that I feel that you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck to meditate. And when I say meditate, right, I'm a meditation instructor. And so there are many different ways to meditate. Okay. I was thinking of actually doing a separate podcast on this, because I think it's so important that people understand that you do not have to sit in lotus position, right, for an hour, clearing your mind of all thoughts, and that's meditation, okay? That may work for some people, and that's fantastic, but that is not the only way to meditate. There are so many ways to meditate, and really, for me, personally, my goal in meditation is to, number one, clear my vibration and connect with my highest self and whatever downloads she wants to share with me. And so there are many ways that I can achieve that. I'll tell you right now, shower meditation is incredibly amazing. I get some of my best ideas and downloads in the shower, the epiphanies, the connections. It's just mind-blowing to me. So, and I would say on Tuesday, with the moon in Scorpio, which is a water sign, set the intention when you take your shower that you speak to the water, speak to the spirit of the water, okay? As we are expanding our consciousness, we are understanding and knowing that literally everything in this life experience has a consciousness, and we are all connected through this consciousness. And the water is one of the elements that we can connect with on the regular. Every time you wash your hands, you can connect with the spirit of the water for cleansing, for downloads, for gratitude. Realize, right, that we are so fortunate to have clean water at our disposal just by turning on a faucet. We should have immense gratitude and appreciation every time we turn on a faucet. And so when you take that shower, connect with the spirit of the water in your own unique way. Show love and reverence and gratitude, and ask the spirit of the water to cleanse you of any lower vibrations. Ask the spirit of the water to guide you, that you are open to receiving whatever wisdom the spirit of the water and your higher self would like to share with you at that time. So Tuesday, great day for shower meditation with the moon in Scorpio, a water sign, opposing Mercury in the sky, which is our thinking mind. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful. So Wednesday, Mama Moon is still in Scorpio, and the moon is, with the moon in Scorpio, she's getting a gorgeously supportive aspect from the planet Saturn. And I actually really love Saturn, and I'm likely going to do separate podcasts on each of the planets and my interpretations of them. And typically Saturn, when you study ancient astrology and Hellenistic astrology, going all the way back to the Greeks and even before, Saturn can be thought of as a toughie, like a tough energy to work with, like a ball buster, okay? But really, truly though, Saturn wants you to work hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. Like, you have to put in the work with Saturn. But the thing is, when you do, you reap the rewards. So, that's life, isn't it? Like, I mean, we are living in the 3D world. And we are co-creating, though, with spirit. And in the 3D, we have to put our work in. Yes, you can be in the flow and connect with your higher self and your angelic team and your ancestors and all the beautiful spiritual energies that are always supporting us, but we still have to do the work. And that is what Saturn is always reminding us of. So today on Wednesday, when the moon is still in Scorpio, going deep, and she's making this super supportive aspect to Saturn, we can go deep and hyper focus on whatever work we are needing to focus on now. On this day, you're going to have like the motivation, right? Remember, Scorpio is ruled by Mars. Mars takes action. Okay, so tap into that energy, tap into the energy of Saturn and say, okay, today's my day to get it done, right? I'm going to buckle down. I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to put in the hours. And I know it's going to pay off. Even if today is not the same day that you receive your harvest, trust me, the work that you put in on Wednesday, it's going to pay off. I am already blocking my calendar so that I can just work on several projects that I have. And I know that I have super supportive energy to do that on Wednesday. You're going to have good focus, good self-discipline. Okay, what else do I want to say about Wednesday? Well, the moon is opposing Uranus. Okay, so what I would say is you're with all of this energy combined, you could feel like your nervous system is a little jacked up. So perhaps start on Wednesday morning with some sort of grounding exercise, whether that is literal exercise, right? Like moving the body, moving some of that frenetic energy that you may be feeling, or it's earthing, right? Like if you can in the morning, or at any point of the day when you feel like you may be a little jacked up, if you can do your breathing exercises, the belly breathing that I teach in meditation, or going out to a grassy area, taking your shoes and socks off, and just being barefoot in the grass. If you live near a beach, you can do it on the beach. And really tap into Mother Gaia, right? The Earth's vibration, the ions that she is constantly, the negative ions that she is constantly sharing with us. That's what helps us to feel calm and grounded in our bodies. Okay. The sea also, when we are by the ocean, same thing. The negative ions are coming off of the ocean water. Okay, in the sea air. That's why we feel so calm when we go to the beach. That's why we feel calm when we're walking in a nature trail. Okay, so tap into that if you feel you need it on Wednesday. If you're feeling like, oh, I've got all of this energy, but it's a little electric and I need to just like, how am I going to settle down and get my work done? Do some grounding exercises. Okay. All right, so now we are moving into Thursday, that beautiful full moon. This is a beauty, guys. I mean, this full moon in Sagittarius, I am calling your next level of empowered and expanded consciousness. I don't know about you, but for the last week or so, the downloads, the leveling up that I have been experiencing has been like off the charts. The epiphanies, the connections that I'm making, the expanded consciousness is literally happening like as if I'm watching a book open and the pages being turned, right? It's so beautiful. And so if you've been experiencing this at all, it's going to be even bigger at this full moon and then into the weekend. And for those of you who feel like maybe you haven't been experiencing that expansion, you're gonna feel it with the full moon. So be open to that. Set the intention. Picture yourself on Thursday with that beautiful 1,000-petaled lotus flower at your crown chakra, opening petal by petal by petal, expanding, opening to the expansive consciousness that you are moving into now. You know, Sagittarius is a fire sign, and fire represents passion and inspiration. And what is inspiration after all? It is source energy. It is your higher self downloading those beautiful ideas, right? Dropping right down into your crown chakra, and you feel that inspiration. And then fire, you want to take action, right? Because you're all fired up. And there is more to this full moon than just this beautiful Sagittarius energy. The moon is experiencing a super easy, supportive trine from the planet Neptune. And Neptune represents unconditional love, the divine love that is available to all of us in every moment. This is beautifully supportive energy, the divine loving us at this full moon of expansion, right? The divine love is saying to the moon in Sagittarius, fill up, you are full of my love, my passion, my inspiration. Open up to this, receive it, right? The moon is feminine. She wants to receive, she wants us to receive. And Neptune is just pouring down. I'm seeing rainbow energy light pouring down from Neptune into the moon in her complete fullness, her most illuminated self, beaming that unconditional divine love down to us, right into our crown chakra. That beautiful, inspiring Sagittarius energy of expansion. I mean, this is gorgeous. And again, I would say on Thursday, set aside some time to meditate. Maybe it is a walking meditation. Maybe it is sitting quietly with the intention and picturing that crown chakra opening up like the 1,000-petal lotus, opening up to receive that divine love from Neptune. And there's more. There's more. Pluto is sextiling the moon in Sag at this full moon. And that is another super supportive energy. The sextile wants us to take a little bit of action, right? And so Pluto in this aspect is not unearthing fears. No, no, no. Pluto in this aspect is empowering us. In this aspect, Pluto is asking us to take our power back. When we have filled ourselves up with that connection to Source, with that connection to Neptune's divine love, unconditional love, when we are fired up with Source energy, there is no bigger feeling of empowerment than that we are Source, that we are always connected to Source energy, and we just need to remove the blocks that keep us connected to this energy, because it's always flowing to us in every moment. And so tap into these energies of empowerment, of expansion, open up to whatever your higher self wants to guide you to now, whatever truth. Sagittarius is also all about the truth, the highest truth. So if truths are being revealed, illuminated right at the full moon, that's also what she does. She illuminates things because she's in her brightest phase. Know that the truth sets us free, whatever those truths are. And it allows us to then realign to the path that we are meant to be on. So I am feeling that this full moon is going to be extremely supportive to us, really super powerful and empowering. And there are two more things that I want to talk about that I feel are impacting this full moon energy as well. The first thing is that whenever we have a full moon in a sign, right, sign, in this case Sagittarius, that means that the sun is in the opposite sign of where the moon is. So that means, right, the sun is in Gemini. And so the moon is in Sag, the sun is in Gemini, and this is the axis of the mind, of expanding the mind. Remember, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion, the planet of good luck and blessings, of faith, of learning. And so when the sun, our sense of self, is in Gemini, right? And so we are really having a lot of clarity in the mind. We can really tap into this beautiful energy and open up to this mind expansion, which really is our consciousness, right? Our consciousness expanding at this full moon. The other planetary aspect that I want to talk about that's happening on Thursday is really big, and it is about Jupiter and Venus. And they are conjunct each other at 29 degrees. Okay? And let me just see here. I want to be very specific with y'all. So Jupiter and Venus are at 29 degrees of Taurus, which is that beautiful feminine earth energy. And 29 degrees is that degree point of mastery, of completion. And so this is happening on the full moon day, right? Which is, full moons are also about completion. And when we look at Jupiter, as I just mentioned, the planet of expansion, blessings, good fortune, faith, learning, even adventure, being at the same exact degree with the planet Venus, which is our feminine planet of self-love. It is also romantic relationships. That energy shows up through Venus. Also with our feminine friendships and the other females in our life, females that we work with, that we encounter on a daily basis. And so with Jupiter and Venus in this grounded sign of Taurus, right? Because Taurus is 3D energy here. Like what is happening on the ground, on the earth, right? And so with our five senses, right? So this is very much our embodied experiences, our actual relationships to self, to others, romantically, or just the feminines in our lives. And so at this 29th degree, it's a level of mastery, but this can play out in different ways. This can be like, I am complete and done with so-and-so relationship. Or it could be that you are at a new level of mastery in your self-love, in how you are showing up in your relationships with others, Venus. I feel that this can also be just, again, a huge day of really mastering that self-love, really feeling the expansion of that. And it can also be a beautiful heart-opening energy, right? Because if Venus is that romantic love, Jupiter can open that up and expand it. So that is pretty big energy happening on Thursday. You may be feeling it, right, a couple days out, and it's going to peak on Thursday. Let me see here. I just want to see. Yes, because then on Friday, Venus moves on into Gemini. And so now we have the Sun and Venus in Gemini on Friday. And so that would be honestly a great day. I have Moon School Friday night, so that is a fantastic day to meet up with your girlfriends, right? Venus in Gemini. Gemini is very chatty, friendly, social energy, very social. And so maybe it's date night for some of you out there, right? It would be a great day for that on Friday. So now let's look into the moon energies on Friday, because the moon is still actually in Sagittarius. And we still... Oh, I know what I want to mention. Neptune on Friday is going to be also at 29 degrees. I mean, Neptune's been there, right? But we have Jupiter and Neptune both at 29 degrees and Venus on Thursday. And so Neptune brings in that dreamy romantic love when it's playing with Venus and Jupiter. So you may really be feeling lovey-dovey on Thursday, and even into Friday, right? So definitely, if you have a special someone in your life, plan a beautiful date night for Friday night, for Thursday night or Friday night. Tap into that beautiful energy. Make the most of it. Okay, so let's see. On Friday, right? Moon still in Sagittarius. And on Friday, the moon is getting really super easy supportive energy from Mars and the North Node. And so, yes, take that action, that expansive action. Maybe it will play out with the masculines in your life or within yourself. Whatever that action is for you, you'll know what that is. Maybe it's going to be connected to whatever expansion you have been feeling this week around ideas and next steps, or simply the epiphanies and the downloads you've been receiving, expanding your own consciousness. And so that may naturally coalesce into taking some sort of action on Friday when the moon is going to be really supported by that Mars, that planet of action. The moon is also going to be squaring Saturn on Friday. And so for some of us out there, we may be feeling like a burden of responsibility. We may be feeling down in the dumps. Again, just like on Monday, if you're feeling those lower vibrations, sit with that and ask yourself the question, why? What is this trying to show me? What is it asking me to look at so that I can heal it? That may or may not play out for you that way. It may play out in just feelings of frustration around something. So guess what? Don't be frustrated. Let it go. Release it. Stick a pin in it. I always like to say you can come back to it. We don't want to keep pushing against resistance. And the moon squaring Saturn can feel like that. It can feel like blockages and resistance and frustration. So just be on the lookout. And if that comes into your experience on Friday and you are feeling that, then stop pushing against the brick wall because you're not going to move it. Release your hands. Take a seat on the ground. Get grounded. See if there's a way around. And if there isn't, then just let it go for now. You can always come back to it when there is more flow and less resistance. Okay, so on Saturday, the moon is still, early on, is still in Sagittarius. And then she will move into Capricorn. But I do feel like that there's like a shift that's going to happen on Saturday. And so we're going to move from like the expansive mind energy into Capricorn, which is very grounded, like let's get to work energy again, right? And so as Mama Moon moves into Capricorn, you may feel that work ethic, that motivation kick in, and where you want to ground whatever those ideas are. And so definitely, if that's what you're feeling, again, write it down, get to work. It's going to pay off. It's going to pay off now. Those divine downloads may still be coming in, even into the morning hours, even into the early afternoon. And then you may feel like there's a pause. And If you're feeling uncertainty or like you're floating in the void on Saturday, just let it go, just let it be, because when the moon moves into Capricorn, you're going to feel that shift like, okay, I know what I want to do. I want to get XYZ and start to make it happen, right? Now, this could be honestly as simple as you've been trying to figure out what your vegetable garden is going to look like this year. And this week, you're getting all the clarity around that. And then come Saturday, when the moon moves into Capricorn, that grounded earth energy, you're like, yep, I'm going to the garden center. I know exactly what I'm planting with what. And I want to dig in the dirt and I want to literally ground my idea, right? That's the most literal depiction I could come up with. But really, it could be anything, literally anything. It could be an idea for a project that you've been working on, or it could be something at work. It could be something in your personal life. It could be planning a vacation, right? Grounding something simply means you put it into action. It becomes tangible. The first steps are being laid. And so you may feel that around anything in your life come Saturday and into Sunday, where you're like, okay, I'm gonna shoot the arrow, right? From Sagittarius into Capricorn. It lands in the bullseye. Bam, you're ready to take those action steps. And then Sunday, when the moon is, fully in Capricorn, you can give structure to those ideas and you can start to build something, maybe an action plan, next steps. You may be feeling ambitious around it. And so I'd say the only thing happening on Sunday that might give you pause, or you might not have complete clarity around, is because the moon will be squaring, actually all weekend, Saturday, Sunday, the moon will be squaring Neptune. So that could sometimes, that could play out in different ways, honestly. It could be rose-colored glasses, okay? So for example, if you are going to plan an extravagant vacation, just do your research before you lay down $10,000 to that trip to Thailand, right? Like, just do your research. Tap into the Capricorn energy, get a little structure, be responsible, Capricorn, right? Because when the moon is squaring Neptune, it could play out as that dreaminess, the rose-colored glasses, everything looks so beautiful and perfect, and you're not seeing the cons, right? You're not seeing the downsides. And so just keep that in mind, right? In whatever ways it's playing out for you, whether it's planning that vacation, or it's buying that new car, right? Or it's making whatever really big moves you're feeling inspired to make. I would say over the weekend, just don't be impulsive, right? Tap into the Capricorn energy of being grounded and responsible, and sit on something if it's requiring you to make a really big, huge change in your life or in your pocketbook, right? Or with your health, your body, anything that where there could be consequences, because, Capricorn ruled by Saturn, you're going to feel the consequences of your actions. So if the moon is squaring Neptune, and there's a little fogginess, a little rose-colored glasses, a little over-optimism, just let's temper that, okay? And then remember, the moon moves quickly. So, come Monday afternoon, when the moon moves into Aquarius, which I will discuss next week, you'll have more clarity, because remember, Aquarius is an air sign, the mind. And then the moon will be clearing that square from Neptune. So definitely you can start to take those action steps on the weekend, ground your ideas, but don't fall into the trap of it being 100% beautiful and perfect, and this is it, and this is the one, and this is the, because there could be a little rose-colored glasses going on there. So just keep that in mind. Nothing to fear, of course, just to be aware. This is why we do these podcasts. This is why I do this, right? To have that awareness, to have to be able to work consciously with these energies is everything, right? It's really everything. It makes such a difference, and we can make decisions based from a place of seeing all different viewpoints and perspectives, and not just reacting, but consciously responding. And that's really empowering when you can do that. And that's really why I love astrology so much, and why I love working with the moon, because it is so empowering for me personally to work with these energies, to know my week ahead, and specifically when you're working with your own chart, then you can really dial down into what areas of life this could be showing up for you, because now you're looking at the moon as she's moving through the different houses, which are the areas of life, right? And so that really gives such a personalized layer. And it really, it turns up those vibrations within yourself. You begin to feel more self-aware and empowered. And so even when we encounter challenging energies, which of course we're going to, that's just life, we can feel like we can work with it, that it's not just steamrolling us, right? And that we are just victims to this energy. No, we are never victims. We are empowered beings that co-create with the universe, that co-create with the cosmos and with all of the energies on this planet. And we get to choose. We get to choose how we want to feel when we are working consciously with our own growth and our own expansion. And so I am wishing you a beautiful week ahead, a gorgeous Sagittarius full moon. I'm wishing you so much expansion and empowerment this week, and really stepping into this new sense of self that is emerging from within. I feel that we are all those butterflies emerging out of the chrysalis this week. It's really beautiful energy, and I hope that you can all tap into that vibration and really feel that beautiful expansion happening within you this week especially. So I'm sending you so much love, so much empowerment. If you would like to work with me, hop on over to my website. I want to thank you for taking the time for yourself today to listen to my podcast. I hope that it has supported you and it has given you some guidance to work with this week. If you do like the video, please like it. Please share with anyone that you feel may benefit from this information. You can hit the subscribe button. You can hit the little bell, so that way you get a notification every time I post a new episode. And I'd love to hear your comments. It really helps the channel, and it really helps me to feel connected to you. Alrighty, everyone. I will see you soon under the moon. Bye-bye for now.